So the motivation behind WizShark was that we had a lot of, well, of course, we all do a lot of troubleshooting and packet analysis, and you can miss things with packet analysis. So WizShark is kind of like a supplemental tool to help you see things that you may have missed. So you'll be able to see patterns due to the deep visualization, and you can quickly detect, and we'll show some examples of some patterns that jump right out at you. You can get through traces without getting getting trace fatigue. And so also we like to point out that it's a good tool for collaboration. You can do collaboration by just sharing a trace with anyone. They don't have to have an account, and they can actually open up that trace on a tablet and do the troubleshooting remotely on a tablet and work together with you. So that's very helpful. All right, as we're fond of saying, a picture is worth 1,000 packets. You may have seen some of these different types of graphics in Twitter, and that's something that we're proud of. So anyways, we'll do a quick interface walkthrough here. So I'm gonna get out of here, and since I'm limited in time, I got some screens already opened up. So when you log on to WizShark, you'll see this home screen where all of your traces have been uploaded. And then I'm going to actually go to one here, which is an 11G. A client stops communicating at 11G, so I opened up that particular trace. And I opened this one up because I want to show you the sorting capabilities. So if you're looking for a particular type of problem, you may know from analyzing other traces that an indicator of the client that's having a problem, maybe DOS or EAP or something, or maybe you're looking for a reassociation request, or something like that. So you can sort, and it's an easy way to find out the clients that are having the particular problem that you're trying to solve. If you don't know the MAC address, of course, you can always sort and search for a particular MAC address. So that's one way to find the client. All right, now I opened up another trace here, and this is a WPA2 PSK successful association, and I just want to show you what it would look like. So it's hard to see here, but we have grayed out the different types of frames along the left side here. And you can see the probe response, authentication request, association, so on, key exchange, and then data transferring. So you see that pattern. That's what you look for in a healthy PSK association. Now moving on to something that's not so healthy. Somebody mentioned ping-ponging client in the past, so I've opened up a trace of a client that was ping-ponging. And here I'd like to show you the feature where you can just zoom in on something. And these symbols, right now, if you haven't used it, they don't mean very much, but actually there's a online help which actually tells you the definition of each of the symbols. And one of the ones I want to point out here right now is this reassociation request. So that gold star, that means there's a reassociation request. And if you look carefully here, you can see that the destination and the current AP, there are different MAC addresses. So that shows you that the client is actually reassociating to it's ping-ponging to another AP. And you can go forward and see it, play it like a movie, and you can see if that pattern's repeating. You can also jump ahead in the frame, or rather in the 1,000 packets by highlighting this part. So we'll go ahead here. If my internet is working. Okay, I'll go back to that. Actually, we have to zoom out there. That's what it is. I'll go over here and then getting it. I'm not seeing all of the screen, so I'm not able to zoom out in that particular one. But I'll move on to collaboration and sharing. So this is where if you had a trace open and you were trying to troubleshoot it and you were hoping to get somebody else's input, you could just do the share, which is over to the right here, that share, and that would bring this up. So you'd be able to then, if you check this, then they wouldn't need an account in WizShark. You could share it again with anyone. And of course, they could open it up on a laptop or whatever, anything that would support this, the browser. Now, this was a request, I think it came from Blake, I'm not sure, but where you could actually see the packet. So we have that capability. So there's a frame view. Let me go back here. That frame list, if you open up that frame list, then you'll see all the frames here in the background, and then you can click on a particular frame and look at it. So let's say you were trying to troubleshoot a voice problem and you want to make sure that the voice was tagged as voice. You could then drill down and see the QoS settings to make sure it's tagged as voice. So that's a quick walk through there. There's much more, but I just want to give you an idea of some of the things that are unique with WizShark that allow you to get to the bottom of things quicker. So instead of hunting for a particular packet, you can start to see patterns, and that's where the real power is there. All right, so as far as getting traces up to WizShark, there's a lot of ways to do it. You can always capture with any AP. Most vendors support capturing with the AP and stream it locally to like WireShark or something like that. And then you just save the file, save it as a PCAP, and then drag and drop it into the WizShark interface, and it will get uploaded. Another way to do that is to do it directly with WireShark. We have a plugin. This is new. We didn't show this last time, where you can actually just do the capture in WireShark, and then in the tools, and I'll show you that if I have time, where you just upload it directly into WizShark. And then the other one is to capture with any tool, any other third-party packet capture, and then drag and drop into WizShark. So, and there's another. There are some other workflows that are available beside the ones that will work with any, without having an airtight account, okay, or an airtight infrastructure. All right, so here's some I put in the slide deck, and I'm not going to go over all of them, but let me just show you this one here. So here we talk about patterns, and you see that the client's communicating. This is a receive and transmit, but then we see just transmit, no receives. In the client, we noticed that at the lower data rates, the client stops communicating. So that's why this trace is called client starts communicating at lower data rates. So that's a, excuse me, that's a pattern that jumps right out. Here we have a capture of poor video performance, and one of the things a number of things we're looking for, if you have poor video performance or poor throughput performance, this is HTTP video, we have the superimposed, in blue, the data rate that the client's using, and it's a 2 spatial stream client. It's hard to see back there, but it's around 500 and something for a data rate. And the green superimposed, by clicking on this button there, you get the size of the frames. So we noticed that the frame size is lower than what would be expected for this HTTP video transfer. So it's down around, let's see, back to that, get my hand away from that. So we can see that it's a lower frame size. It's around 300 bytes. We do see it's a good aggregate because we see this is a block ACK, and here's the block of data. So that looks pretty good. So the thing that I would start suspecting in this particular case is that we're not using the frame size that we'd expect. This is actually a snippet of the video case study. So in the tool itself, when you log on to WizShark, there's a video, and you can go through that. It shows where this particular one, the client is trying to host authenticate when Radius is set up for user authentication. So you can see that here, where it's basically trying to authenticate its host, and invite you to go through that video. Here's another one where it's an EAPOL Incompatibility, and we can see that pattern here with the deauthentications down below. And we already talked about the share. And so the key takeaways, you have them there. I don't know how much time I have, probably 1 minute. So yeah, visual troubleshooting, right? Works with any PCAP, so it's agnostic. It's all in the cloud. And you have indexing and caching so that when you open up the trace the first time, it'll be a little bit slow, but after that, you open up the traces much faster. So if you ever open big traces, I'm sure you have on whatever tool you're using, it can take a long time. So with the indexing and caching, it's quicker. And collaboration, again, to any device, tablet, and so on. And you get the free 6 months again, so please check it out. That's it.